Alrighty, team, ladies and gents, welcome. Boys and girls, hope we are all doing well on this Friday, last session of the trading week. As always, guys, let's have a good one. Good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening. Welcome wherever you are around the world. I hope you are all doing well on this Friday. Music, Ryan Q is always going to be something that doesn't work properly at the very beginning, but all good. So guys, yes, let's see what we can come up with moving forward today. Gold been in a bit of a pullback phase since the first few days of this week. So obviously we'll have a look at the gold and any other pairs as per request. But guys, in the meantime, you guys know the drill. If you could, please make sure YouTube, it is very important for you to hit that like button for me. Don't be shy, say good day in the chat. Let me know how you're going, let me know how your week has been, and let me know if you are looking at any pair in particular. And TikTok, same for you guys. You guys rock. Thank you to everyone who has supported me throughout the week. Don't forget to smash that screen for me. And if you do have any questions or any charts you'd like me to specifically have a look at, I'm more than happily do so for you once I've had a look at the gold and maybe one or two other pairs. So guys, let's have a look at the news. Let's begin with the news. Apparently Trump has been at the Federal Reserve Bank of America, meeting with Powell. It would have been interesting to see, to be a fly on the wall in that particular meeting. Moving forward here today, though, we had some retail sales figures come out just recently for the pound, came out as a negative. Pound is, as with the other majors, in a bit of a pullback at the minute. Moving forward today, durable goods for the US dollar may be considered high impact on different news providers. That's about it. So pretty smooth sailing moving forward into today's session, guys. So let's start with having a look at the gold, and let's have a good one, team, to end the week and start with the weekly time frame. And what we can see is, as I mentioned at the beginning, that we are pulling back quite significantly within that previous weekly candle after tapping into that resistance just below the all-time high. It's also obviously a daily resistance, so it is a key level that we are respecting. Back we go, right in the middle of this consolidation. So very indecisive price action. Looking at the daily time frame, what we can see is obviously rejecting the resistance here to the left. Once again, just below the all-time high, very strong key level of resistance. Not only that, we do have a lower high in the current candle. We were to begin to break the low of the previous daily candle. Feel there's a high probability, just based off price action, the high time frame, price could head back down towards that 33.40, which I think I mentioned yesterday is a possibility moving forward for the rest of the week. Structure wise, we are bullish, that is granted. I mean, if we were to use a trend line, not use it, we are creating a series of higher lows as we continue to approach the apex here, the resistance. So what that suggests is if we keep pulling up to retest it whilst we're still in a strong uptrend, which we definitely are on the higher time frame picture, in my opinion, it's a high probability at some point we're going to break through it and end up retesting that 3500 flat level here to the left and creating a new all-time high. So onto the 4-hour time frame, and what we can see is this is when I start to look at the structure more itself, and it is definitely bearish in structure here on the 4-hour. So once again, in line with the rejection of the higher time frame, in line with the direction of the daily candles, 4-hour, we do have bearish structure here. So I'm just going to mark in that as the most recent resistance, change it to gray. As far as support, this wick to me is an actual level of support. So we'll see what we've got on the minor time frame, that being the M15. But we know that either way, as long as we remain below this swing point here and at 33.80, we are technically going to be bearish in structure on the 4-hour time frame. All right, so usually on a Friday, I prefer to trade in line with the strength of the weekly candle, but off the back of the structure on the 4-hour being bearish, off the back of the 15-minute structure, it's actually bullish, believe it or not. It is actually bullish. But off the back of the 4-hour being bearish, with the way the daily candles are forming, with the probabilities being to the downside, I would prefer to look for some potential sell options for the time being. I will have a look though to see if there would be some opportunities to take a buy. TikTok, why do I keep getting that message? But moving forward, my first options will be just having a look at the minor time frame here. I'll be marking that level of resistance. Now, price pulling back ever so slightly. It's not quite tapped into the lower end of the support here. So until it does so, I'm not really gonna trust the buys, to be honest. I would prefer to see price pop back down, do that 33.54, begin to bounce off that zone there, and pop above 33.62, 63 region before looking for some potential buys above at this rate. So I'll put the buys above there. Now, as far as the sells, do we have, first of all, do we have any clean traffic below? Not really. You need to drag us down just a little bit lower, and we're into some clean traffic below 33.50.77. So off the back of that, definitely be interested in selling it below that point. The price did eventually drop back down to that level there. Be nice to trigger in some buys prior to it, wipe those buyers out, close below, retest, begin to pull away into the clean traffic, and the target at that point be 33.46. Now, further options to the downside will be upon a pullback. If we did pull back to retest the most recent resistance form, the local resistance form within the daily candle, around at 33.60 to 62 sort of region, and provide a signal within price action at that point there, I would also look for a potential option to take a sell on the gold. So that is pretty much what I'm currently looking at on gold. Just quickly looking at on the other time frames here to 30. Nice little interruption play just there, and it would have worked. Wow. Unfortunately not on the charts for it. The IC candle again working wonders there. That would have been a cracking entry. The 4 hour also potentially a limit order off the back of that, but I won't be on stream for that, so I'm not going to bother. I'm going to look for, as I mentioned, a sells below the resistance, potentially buys above it, or sells back below the support. That's about it for the time being. Yeah, here we go here today. Welcome, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, please. Only 9 likes, YouTube. Welcome to you, Keegan, Sebastian, Franco. Happy Friday. Yep, Keegan, Bartman, give a like. Appreciate it. Sebastian, don't talk about the like, just give it. Yep, it would be nice, but people don't give it unless you continue to mention it. So very important, to be honest, to get the stream numbers up. Colored EU. Let me quickly look at EU. Weekly forming a strong bullish candle, bullish engulfing. So at the back of that, I would definitely preference the buys. However, has tapped into resistance, so maybe at the back of that, and see signs of why we could potentially reject. Daily tapping into and rejecting the resistance here. So if we begin to break previous daily candles low, at that point you do have the daily candle probabilities to the downside, lower high, lower low. There'd be a high probability price could continue bearish off the back of that. The 4 hour is definitely bullish in structure. Back in most recent support, the previous daily low, we'll mark in this level of resistance. It's the current 4 hour range, and we'll move on to the 30. 30 would consider it to be technically bearish. Yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag here on EU. Look, if it closes above that point there, maybe some potential options to buy. I'm not sure if you quite got the margin to do so though, by the looks of things. Not really. Maybe. What I think about EU, it's rejecting a high time frame resistance. There is no clean traffic below the support as well. I think it's just in a pretty awkward area. I would preference price to come up to the higher point of the 4 hour resistance, reject again and look for a sell from higher up. Otherwise, wait for it to come back down right in the middle. At the minute, sorry, it's right in the middle of the range, of the 4 hour range. So I think you're a little bit late to the party in either direction. Maybe if it rejects here and you have a candle closing back bearish, I would preference the M30 on the currency pairs, slightly higher time frame. Then possibly could look for a sell back down, but for the time being, I don't see much on it personally. Brian, brother, you remember me? Yes, I do remember. Past phase 1, finally. Nice one. Good work. Well done. Told you just be patient with it and eventually get the job done. So good work. This makes key. If you only do what you can never be better than what you already are. That's very true. You color, you longed 117.88. 117.88. Ooh. Yeah, be careful with that, mate. You should have a plan for when you are in draw, which you are in significant drawdown. Unless you meant you took a sell. Hopefully you got it wrong and you mean you took a sell. I mean, that means you're in profit. Futures, all right. Fair enough. So hopefully you're in profit. Jose, good morning. Good day to you. Nev, good day, brother. Hope you're well. Welcome. TikTok. Why am I getting banned all the time? Shadow ban. It was 60 to begin. Now it's down to 30. Bloody frustrating. And the thing is, you can't contact anyone on TikTok. They make it impossible. Anyway, welcome guys. Who we got? Manicia, good day to you. What time zone is this, bro? Grayson, good day to you. Time frame or? Time frame's 15. Strong Tommy sell? Yeah, not the minute. Just wait and see. It's been one of those weeks, guys. Wait and see. It's been a positive week. It's been a good week. Much better week than last week. Still, the opportunities been few and far between whilst they've been on the charts. Throughout London session, for the most part, charts have been absolute shithouse. They've been trash. But 2 trades, 2 wins. Don't go broke if you're in profit. So if you're secure in profits. Sketchers, good day to you. Yep, don't forget to give it a like. What is going on here? Is my tray not even... Why is that happening? Check something. Schedule maintenance. That was a few weeks back. This is really strange, guys. Got issues in my MetaTrader at the minute. All happening. All happening. Great way to end the week, isn't it? Anyway. See. Mohammed, that's a good point. You can read the time frame in the background. It's in the watermark. This makes key, yeah. The charts are shit. They're really shit yet again. To be honest, I wasn't going to bother streaming, but I thought I'd just jump on for a bit. Maybe London Open will bring in some volume and move the charts a bit. Hello, why? Well, what for? That's the other. That's the question I'd ask you. I don't need to, so. Sleepy, no, there's nothing. It's just the same shit as yesterday. It's in consolidation. There's no entry at the minute. You're sleeping. Am I stressing about you? I'm not in position, mate. I'm not in position. I've got an issue right now with my MetaTrader. I'm not sure what's going on. I've got an issue with TikTok, which are shadow banning me for whatever reason. I've not done anything different to what I've been doing for the last 6 months, which is really affecting my numbers. So that's why I'm a bit shitty about, to be honest. And the charts are shit. There is no entry. It's fact. The charts are really shit. There is no way I'd be in any trades at the minute. The only thing that looked half decent I was not on the charts for was an interruption play here. I wasn't even at home for it. It's there. But even then, that's not valid. Not valid until pretty much this candle. But anyway, 2 trades this week, 2 wins. Not stressed at all about my trading. So I have no idea what the hell is going on with my terminal. I won't be trading. I can't trade. The terminal is... hold on, let me scan. Check my emails for a sec. Not sure. Sorry, I have no idea what's going on. Krista, we go to you. Display XK, thank you. Colored A futures prop firms are easier, that's why I switch. Fair enough. I don't trade prop firms, so Nev, if we start to move towards 33.51 area, I'll bring some interest into the market for either a bounce or a break. Yeah, I agree. I think this is a level of importance. I really like for price to come back down to it. It looks like it's popping back up, so I prefer to look for rejection. If that's to be the case, look for some sells. Discipline ski gold is cooked. It has been pretty much all week, hasn't it? But again, been on the right side of it, so I'm not stressed about that. It's been a solid week, quiet week, but 2-0, which is better than 0-2. Nev, yep, gold. Ahmed, I'm on trade and buying, but stressed me a lot. Well, if you're in a trade and you're stressed about it, you shouldn't be in it. It's fact. Because the reality is, once you execute upon a trade, the reason why you've executed upon it is because it's in line with your plan. It's in line with what you were looking for as far as rules. They tick the boxes and all that. So once you execute upon it, it's just up to you to, if you have ways about, going about managing your trade, whether it be in profit or drawdown, that's the only thing you can do. And as soon as you're not feeling good about it, feeling stressed, then perhaps you should start to cut the position. Again, if you've done your own due diligence before any entry, it should be valid or not valid. So if it's not valid, you just don't enter and be stressed about it. Once you get to that point in your trading, you'll be a much better trader, trust me. Doesn't mean you win every trade. There is no such thing. Run for the mountains if someone says they never lose. Franco, maybe a chance for EU sells. Yep, but need a nice upper wick. Oh, okay. Sorry, members, I'll send you guys the links. I'm just a bit flustered, man. I'm not sure what's going on with everything. Got TikTok issues. I got terminal issues. Not terminal. Just gotta rephrase that. MetaTrader issues. London open as well, guys, just now. So gold, just nothing. It is rank. It's really rank. Sleepy or good, mate? Sorry, not a problem. No, Mohammed, I think you're misunderstanding what 100 Sleepy is saying. He's not saying he wins 100% of the time, just saying pretty much what I said as well, that if you're stressed about it, you shouldn't be in a trade. There's never a guarantee. There is never a guarantee. I've said it so many times to my team too, that, and the experienced guys will know it as well, sometimes it looks too good to be true. It looks like such a cracking entry, and it doesn't always work out. You're expecting it, and then that's why I have no expectations, and then there's no disappointment, because price, it doesn't always repeat, but often rhymes. So it's very similar, but it won't always do the exact same thing as what it did previously. So have no expectations, just going with a plan. Trade your plan, react when the time comes. That's all you can literally do as a trader. There is nothing more you can do. Gold, not wick, good chance could create it. Still not gonna buy it though. I'm not trusting the buyers at the minute. One thing that stopped me from revenge trading, having the data to back up that I was actually a decent trader. If I stopped doing stupid shit like following my emotions and chasing the losses back, I could actually be a consistently profitable trader. It was literally that. Just being fed up with my own stupidity. That's what it was. I think it's the common thing with a lot of traders. Cannot accept a loss, not accept being wrong. It's just human nature. You always think you're right. You always want to be right. You don't want to know otherwise, but the reality is you can't. You cannot always be right. I've heard of some of the most intelligent people in the world trying to day trade things like that, and they just could not do it. They just couldn't work it out for the life of them. Because it's a whole different kettle of fish when you're trading, scalping, trading in general, but scalping as well. It will really test your emotions out. It will test your patience out as well. You need to have so much, discipline to sit and wait and only react if when the time comes. So knowing that if I do follow that plan, or follow my plan, I have the patience to wait, there's a good chance I'll be, on the right end of things. So I just need to wait for it to present. If it doesn't present, I don't trade. Very simple. Probably not the most popular. I know on YouTube I'm not anyway, because everyone wants to be, not you guys, the ones on stream, but a lot of the other viewers just want signals. So they're hopping in and out of streams looking for whoever's taking a trade. But what I do, I feel a lot of you could do away from the stream. What some of the others do that I briefly had a look at from time to time, I feel a lot of you will get very confused. You'll try to do it on your own. That's just my personal opinion. Not saying I'm a better trader than anyone, but of course I would back myself in against the other streamers. But I wish them more luck, and it's not putting themselves out there, so don't wish anything bad upon them. I respect it. DE40 ripping. Okay, let me look. Yeah, it's dying, isn't it? Absolutely melting. Not sure why that used to be the case. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that I think there was some expected deals to be done already with the Eurozone in regards to tariffs, which have not yet been passed through by the US. So perhaps off the back of that, I think NASDAQ is pulling back a bit as well. Minute. Obviously it's not a Euro indice, but you've got the pound, the FTSE. So they're all in a bit of a pullback, but again, no due for it. Eventually things are going to pull back. Can't always go straight up. Marvin? No trades, I'm sure. No, that's it. There is no certainties. I agree. No certainties, but you need to be confident in your execution, execute flawlessly according to your plan. That's what you need to do. That's what I'm saying. It's what 100 Sleepy is saying as well. We understand there is no guarantees, but you need to be comfortable. If you're anxious in your trade, maybe you missed something. Maybe you're not comfortable with your position size. Maybe you're over leveraged. Who knows? Or maybe you jumped in before your plan presented. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe you just need to work on your emotions when it comes to being in trades. The psychology could be something very simple. I'm not sure. Ali, hi A.C.T trader. I'm not an A.C.T trader. Not at all, mate. Don't look at fair value gaps or anything like that. Look at I.C. candles, but that's not even what you're probably thinking of. It's what we call the interruption candle. That's something totally different. Pascal, what's my opinion about AUUSD? I've been hearing a lot about it recently and some profitable friends. AUUSD? Is that, look, guys, price action. ORB, is that order blocks? I'm not even sure what it stands for, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. No opinion. I don't trade it. When right stressed, I mean price is around my stop loss more than 1 hour, but of course I trust my, well, that's it. So fair enough. So maybe it's just a little error in your communication at the time. So if you trust this setup, all you can do is let it play out then. As soon as I actually get stressed in a position, I just cut it, or I start cutting partials. Thank you to the new followers. TikTok, I need you guys, your help. Because for whatever reason, all of a sudden what I'm doing is not getting directed to the right audience anymore. TikTok have decided they're not gonna recommend my stream. TikTok. TikTok. How do you contact anyone on TikTok? BJ looks like absolute shit as well. The charts are very, very difficult at the minute. EA, nothing much there. Yeah, looking also a bit messy. GU, oof, forget that. Charts are ugly. They're really terrible at the minute. The crypto is pulling back. Point breaking support, still very, very bullish though. Still think it's, as long as it's above that 105, really, that's the way the structure is going to flip on a higher time frame. So above 105 is where we want it to remain above. Gosh, what's the daily bias today? Daily structure itself is bullish, but the way the counts are forming are more bearish. This next game, yeah, London session's been, the open's been shit so far. Literally back where we started, there is absolutely nothing going on. Gold is once again terrible during the London session. Really choppy, nothing at all of any quality. Is nothing to warrant me looking for any trades at the minute. It's just a mess. Even if we could not move sideways, that would be amazing. That would be great, but all it's doing right now is printing barcodes, barcode action. Michael Vorster. And 5 looks like inverted head and shoulders. Don't trade price action patterns. Inverted head and shoulders. I'm assuming you mean that's a shoulder, that's a head. I don't really see it. Or you mean here that's a shoulder, that's a head. Well, it's still got a while to play out though. That's the case. Still well off it actually being confirmed. But see what you mean. But yeah, I look for signals at levels. At this stage, I want it to be around 33.60 or really back at the support below. There's nothing in between. Just a mess in between. Absolute mess at the moment. Yeah, GJ. So the weekly's forming bearish, lower high, lower low. If the back of that would preference sells, but let's look at it. The higher time, the daily time frame here is tapping into supports. Even this looks terrible. It's just look at that consolidation, a higher time frame, no clear direction whatsoever. Current counter has a low, low, higher, high. Really choppy. 4 hour. Looks like it may be just bearish. The 4 hour structure is bearish. That's high. Bounced into all these wicks. Yeah, I mean it's really messy. To the downside, you're best below support here. So daily low, I think it is, or yeah, daily low. Sorry, the best below that point there. Insert cleaner traffic below that point. So if it does create lower high, retest low, begin to pop below it, I feel there's a good chance that we could continue further bearish. Aside from that, this is the most recent resistance form within the move to the downside. Above it, you really don't have any clean, or you don't have the margin to the next minor resistance. Probably best to just drag that up, look for potential buys above this point here. But at that point, you're almost 2/3 of the way up to the highs of the 4 hour range. You're almost tapping into the 4 hour resistance by the looks of it. So you got a little bit of margin to that point. So let's just say you got a closure above the resistance of 197.70. Tap back in, be going to pull away. I'd be at break even, taps into the 4 hour resistance at this horizontal, and the target would be 199 flat. Otherwise, if it makes the clear move up to this resistance and rejects 198.70, 60, and again, as long as you got the margin, take it back down. That could be your option to get in upon a pullback, or if it rejects the 4 hour resistance, saying it is just range bound. DJ doesn't look much better, to be honest, than gold. It looks pretty much also the same sort of shit in a minute. Charts are terrible, guys, not gonna lie. Keegan, this so far has not been worth getting up for. Getting up at 2-4, I don't blame you, mate. I'd be back in bed if I saw this. But thank you for, you know, being on the stream, and that shows commitment, mate. Appreciate it. This one XK, don't use the crocodile pattern strategy. I now set it to pattern being display on gold. Yeah, we've got what? Little tail, we've got a shell, and a little head popping out with turtleneck. Guys. Charts are like that sometimes. Charts are sometimes very, very boring. I mean, for the most part, it's boring because you're just waiting for something to present if you are following your plan. Trading's not meant to be exhilarating, but sometimes it just offers absolute trash when you're on the charts. All right, a whole lot you can do about it. So Friday's probably the worst day to trade gold. Yeah, look, again, if my plan presents, I have no problem with it. Fridays have been really good of late. They've been the best day of week of late, to be honest. But yeah, look, I can understand why some people do refer to it as Freaky Friday. I mean, you got a lot of the maybe hedge funds and the banks maybe trying to wrap up positions, which will shift the market before the weekend. So it can be a little bit unpredictable. You've often got some high impact news, not so today, but anything could happen as well with in regards to tariffs, regards to wars, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, 6, I got a coffee addiction staring at the screen. Always got to have a mug with me. Not always coffee. Yeah, but I mean, there's times I've fallen asleep basically at the charts. Can happen. Then personally, Wednesday is my favorite gold day. Fair enough, you might have done to back that up. For me, not too sure which is my most profitable day, but Friday's not a bad day for me normally. One second A.C.T scalper is getting cooked in gold trades now properly. Don't even have the 1 second charts here. Don't have the paid subscription. Even the 1 minute, I just don't see anything. There'll be some people doing this. Well, actually, they'll probably be doing this. Possibly. And possibly if you're waiting for that and just sell it as a retest, what they determine to be the breakout zone or area or break of the trend line. Again, each to their own. If I'm not knocking it, it might be profitable. I don't have the data to back it up, but that's what some might be doing at the minute. For me, it's definitely would not consider it. No chance whatsoever. I just see it as absolute trash on the 15. It's just pure consolidation. There is no clear direction at all. It's just, yeah, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't think gold will go as low as 3,200 before it breaks previous all-time high. Yeah, I mean, it could do anything. It's been in such a big strong uptrend that at some point it likely make a deeper pullback. 3200, it's still going to be bullish on this time frame, the weekly time frame. The daily as well, the way I see it, it's still going to be technically bullish as well, but that is a key level. It is a very strong key level, so potentially a level where price could pull back to. Want to grab some more liquidity, take a breather at, and then head back up to retest the all-time highs again. A lot of that will come down to things such as tariff agreements, tariff talks, also wars and geopolitical tensions around the world. Also anything to do with the US than really anything else. Yeah, so all that will obviously impact gold. Also policy from the Fed will obviously impact gold, and next week, speaking of, is a massive week. Next week we have the reporting for, we've got everything all in 1 week. I think we've got ADP, FOMC and NFP all next week. So next week's gonna be a massive week in regards to news. So that's why gold's been just unpredictable this week. Not much has been happening, to be honest. It's pulled back, it popped at the beginning of the week, and so far for the last few days just been a big pullback. The next week we got ADP, FOMC and NFP, so unemployment claims as well. It's just one of the biggest, probably the biggest week of the year, all rolled into one. So see what comes out of that. Definitely going to shake things up. And on top of that, you got August 1, which apparently all countries should have gotten back to the US in regards to trade agreements and agreeing to terms before then. Otherwise, I think they slugged with a blanket, was it 20 or 30% or something tariff? Not some shit like that. I'm not too sure. So next week is going to be huge. The markets, I'm expecting a lot of volatility, a lot of uncertainty. Generally speaking, markets don't like uncertainty. So we'll have to obviously be patient and see what presents. Hopefully for us, it will make some decent moves, give me some clean areas to be trading within for London session. But we'll see. So I'm looking forward to it. But again, have no expectations, guys. Just trade your plan, irrespective of what's about. I don't recommend trading around the news though, that's for sure. But if you're in trades well before it or after it, that's okay. Be careful holding into news though, because you can get slipped, even if you're safely in at break even. The 6, I think, with all the tariffs and all that stuff that happened in the world, you really can't say, yeah, that's 100%. There is no way of knowing. It's just a very uncertain time with everything. Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. So as a trader with experience, what, 8 years now, I'm weary of these times. They often do present around this time of year, around the summer holidays for the US and UK. But that being said, your plan shouldn't change. You should just stick to your plan and trade your plan, and that's it. Let's go for March. If I'm seeing internal analysis, it'll most likely be a win. Dismaxkey. Might have to change your name from Dismaxkey to, what can we call you? Trigger Happy XAUUSD. I know you're joking, mate. I know it, so it's all good. Get the popcorn out. We'll go live for FOMC. Chuck in a couple $100. Heads or tails. We up or down? Literally, if I was to trade a high impact news event like that, that's what I do. Open up a $50, $100 side account, and like going to a casino. Heads or tails? Black or red or black? Roulette. That honestly, that's how I'd go about it. You have a laugh because you could be gone in the first second, or you could be jumping for joy because you're up 1k in 2 minutes or something. But it's literally, it's pure gambling, but for the most part. I've seen on TikTok some of those groups, some cafe, I think it's in Singapore, where they get together for the high impact news events, and it shows them making thousands of small positions. I don't believe it, to be honest. Maybe part of it's true, but they get slipped. It's like they're all focused on one screen. It's like watching a bloody, I don't know, like Premier League. I'm talking Premier League because most of you are probably from the UK. Decider or something, or the AFL Grand Final here, or, you know, championship game in the NBA or something, where, right, you get the signal, and bang, just goes up, and all of a sudden they're jumping for joy, like they're just one's like, hang on, you got to actually be triggered in at your entry level. You've got slipped a ton, and you got to close your trade before you jump for joy, don't you? So it's all crock of shit, but good viewing anyway, bit of fun. Makes you wonder, makes you think. Maybe we should do it, guys. Here's where do we all meet? Yeah, 6 careful because slippage news kill me if it's, yeah, 100% does. It's happened to me as well. I got slipped big time once on gold, and it blew an account. It was just a small account, but it blew the account. $300 account. Got slipped 100 pips. Majority. BTC, I had a look at it before. Pullback phase. I'm still very bullish personally. Has broken some support, but when I would believe we could make a even deeper pullback is if this daily actually closes below this gray zone here. So if it closes below 115.735, then I believe we are probably going to come back down further. But as far as the trend, it still remains intact so long as we remain above 105 flat, basically, on the higher time frame. Yeah, 6 was my live account. Yeah, I would never trade it on the live account, just the side account. After that experience, but that was a small account anyway, so it was nothing. It was only a few $100s, I think it was. But still, money is money. No one likes to throw away money, especially when you literally put the order in a few seconds before, and 2 seconds later, see it light up. All of a sudden it's gone, and all of a sudden your account's at 0. It's like, oh, that's not good. Yeah, 60 hours quite new to trading at the same time. Yeah, I understand what you understand that. Yeah, I was the same. I thought, you know, it's easy to flip the account, make some quick money, but was very wrong. Cameras just blew 5k or 5,000. How'd you do that? Yeah, buy and sell they met before. Yeah, I know. One is likely to be correct, but then what happens is a whipsaws. Goes up, triggers your stop loss to the upside, pops all the way back down. You trigger into a buy at some point, takes that stop loss to the downside, and it ends up trending. I've seen, I mean, that happens too. It's just, that's the news. It's a lot of time of late though, the news after the actual initial impact of it, it tends to just continue in the same direction prior to it for the most part, but not always, obviously. Danielle, good day to you. Risk 80%? Why would you risk 80%, my friend? Someone wasn't following any rules or a plan by the sounds of it, mate. Let it be a lesson. Let it be a lesson. Don't jump straight in. Don't jump straight back in trying to chase it back, because you're just going to dig yourself a deeper hole. You made 100% profit one day. Yeah, again, mate, it just sounds like you're over risking. You're perhaps over leveraged. That can be exhilarating, but for the most part it's going to be detrimental and blow your account, or a substantial portion of it. Either way, it's just not worth it. Bronze 1, go silver. Gold is shit. There is nothing. and then temptation blew it. I've done that. I've done that with my very first account. First trade, I more than doubled it. 2 days later, gone, the whole thing. GJ. Yeah, GJ also, it's just bouncing off some support here, but it's in a pretty choppy area. I'd want confirmation of rejection at the blue zone that we've tapped into before looking for a sell. But at the moment it's rejecting. It could come back down without the confirmation. I wouldn't be taking sell just now though. And I prefer buying it bump 198.70. We got clean traffic at that point. I don't see much in it, if I'm to be honest. This one escape became profitable by using my 10 techniques of Wooden. I always use a keto while in the trade and punish the perpetrators. Oh mate, I'm not sure where the stream's heading, but fair enough, fair enough. Surfer Abdi first account I had 500 euro and was trading by 0.8 lots. Yeah, I did the same. I had $500 and I traded one full lot on Ethereum. We had 1 to 500 back then, 8 years ago, more than 8 years ago. I flipped it in like 5 minutes. Bought it in a bit, went running around the house. Told pretty much everyone I could tell about it. Then when I asked what happened a few days later, how's it going? Yeah, it's alright. At that point, I blew the whole bloody thing. So, had no idea about risk management. I had no idea of what, you know, proper lot size positions should be and all that stuff. I just wasn't ready. Decided to throw some more money in again. I open a trade, goes blue, up $5, secure it. Just like 100 trades in maybe 30 minutes. When it went against me, I didn't want to close it. Didn't want to close it until it almost blew the account. I was like, oh. That was the beginning of trading for me. That was the welcoming to my trading career. Like a lot of newer traders, you come to the charts, you don't really have much of an idea. You see account forming red, sell it. It's exhilarating to see you have some profit for not really doing much, just pressing a button, opening and closing a trade. Bit of YT, yeah. I think we all start like that, to be honest. Basically no idea about risk management and all that. Because that's the boring stuff, isn't it, guys? You don't want to learn how to make the losses small. We just want to focus on massive wins. That's the important thing. Never gonna lose. That's what you think at the start. Big and bearish push on oil. Yeah, oil below that level. Good chance we're coming back down. Let me look at the 30 again. Yeah, I'd use that level. 66 flat, basically. I think traffic down to the support. It's bullish up until that point as well, by the looks of it, on the 15. So if it starts to close below that point there, if it remains above it, I'd be looking to buy it. If it begins to close below it, pop below it, I feel it'll be a good opportunity to take a sell. Gold back at support. Some of you probably just bought it, and probably not the worst option, but not the way I would particularly roll here on the Friday. Nev, sounds like we need to open an account in NZ, but that type of thing, yeah, for shits and giggles. Call it NZ Friday. Marathon YouTube background sick. Thank you, mate. Yeah, you guys on TikTok, you're gonna have to at some point jump across to YouTube, because I'm getting, for whatever reason, all of a sudden content is not being recommended anymore on TikTok. The past 3 days, I have no idea why. Not changed anything. So at some point you guys are gonna have to jump across to the YouTube stream, because at some point I'm likely gonna get completely banned yet again from TikTok. Yeah, so it's the exact same profile name. You'll just search up my profile name, you'll find it there. It's much more impressive. So for Abdi, what's your plan for today and your longs? Or I would prefer to sell it, to be honest, until price pops above 36280. But the good thing is, as I mentioned at the beginning when I did the analysis, I would prefer to tap into this level before popping above that point. That will convince me we've got the necessary liquidity, we've popped down and tapped into a level of liquidity, a strong level, in order to perhaps make the move above once we begin to pop up 3362 back up towards 3372 to 75, 76, that sort of region. Otherwise, sells below 3350 look pretty good. Got some pretty clean trap point there. Would like to see, well, we're not coming from that far up, so just closures below would probably be okay at this point, something like so. And otherwise, if it just rips for whatever reason to the upside, I'd be looking for rejection from higher up to sell it. That is pretty much what my plan would be moving forward on gold. Shadow band, yeah, for whatever reason. Still, the numbers aren't that bad, but nothing like, you know, 150 to 200 I was getting. You're not the only one getting shadow on TikTok. Oh, really? Heard a few others saying. Yeah, I heard something. It was some system notification popping up on a lot of live streamers' accounts, but apparently TikTok came out and said it's an error. Don't worry about it. So what usually happens, for those who aren't aware, TikTok give you an option to appeal whatever, you know, ban or decision or whatever they prompt you with. They did initially early in the week and it was approved, so it was no longer restricted. And the last 2 days I've had not even an option to appeal the decision, so that means my content is not being directed to people who search, you know, Forex or gold or trading. It's basically just people stumble across it the only way now. And let's face it, most people on TikTok to look at, you know, what's cooking, what some girl is wearing, or her makeup, or some guy talking, I don't know, about what shit about his government. That's what I look at, to be honest. Comparing shreds into Anthony Albanese, that's what I look at. That's what entertains me. Make comments on that. Yeah, so Alba Sleazy. That guy makes me sick. God. Even Miss Penny Wong. Oh god, she's terrible. She is horrible, that lady. She should be locked up. So for Abdi, if I bought now, stop loss would be below the support if I did buy now. Logical level. But it's also a level that I'd be a bit fearful that price could actually drop below to grab liquidity from it and then pop back above. So I would have it safely below, not just below. I would have it, let's just say, a good 30, 40 pips below, maybe. You're looking for a longer term hold from this support, maybe targeting the resistance back at the 4-hour high, maybe. It's bouncing off it just now. Yeah, but nothing much going on, guys. Charts are frank, really shit house. So that's it. I reckon I'm gonna head off, to be honest. I'm definitely not going to get any trade at the minute, so I'm gonna call it a quiet week, but a good week. Still ends up in a profit. So yeah, what else? Once again, TikTok, at some point search me up on YouTube, because if I go missing on TikTok, you know where to find me. I do appreciate all the support throughout the week and all that, guys. You guys rock. And otherwise, guys, next week it's gonna be a big week, so we need to be patient once again. Hopefully it brings some moves though for us for London session. Hopefully the charts are into cleaner areas, which would be good, obviously. BTC for last time, again, 105. As long as it's above 105 in the higher time frame, we're still very bullish. If not, wait for the daily close below support. I believe there's a good chance we could make a deeper pullback. My personal opinion, I don't trade it though, but that's, you ask, that's what I would be looking at. Yeah, so appreciate all the support. Everything sub, thank you, mate. YouTube, TikTok, thank you, both sides of screen, both platforms. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Hopefully there's more preferent, a better week for trading, and look forward to seeing you anyway. Seeing you guys on the stream. Until then, do take care, trade safe, have a good one, guys. Do I think gold short? Nah, not at the moment. It has to be below 33.50 or from resistance at 33.60 or higher up. Yeah, so take care, guys. Don't forget to sub and follow, all that stuff. Thank you for the sticker, Igu, appreciate it. And take care, guys. I'll catch you all next week. Until then, have a good one. Cheers, guys.